Okay, sit yourself onto your left and then come into a good cross-legged position. Sit yourself in cross legs, just normal cross legs, and then just have a little wiggle around. Just make sure that you're sitting evenly and that your seat bones feel level and balanced. Sometimes that takes a little time to get there. Hold onto your knees. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down. Look down at the floor. Look at something that doesn't move. So that your eyes are still in the sockets. Observe how the body feels. Listen to the sound of your breath as it enters and as it exits. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Press the palms firmly together. Lengthen your armpits into the elbows. With an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations, observing the breath, observing that you breathe evenly into both lungs, evenly out of both lungs. Feel your lungs from the bottom to the top with the in-breath, and from the top to the bottom with the out-breath. With an out breath, draw your chin forwards and down to make contact with the chest so that you feel the back of your neck stretch. Draw your shoulders away from your ears and lift the chest up to meet the chin. Make connection between the chin and the chest. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area, and then release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, the palms facing upwards. Connect the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice. Raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards, drawing your shoulders down. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across your ribs and your shoulders, just observing how the pose feels for your body this morning. Using each exhalation to move more deeply into the pose. Avoid overworking the neck, just look forwards rather than over the shoulder, but turn the shoulders, turn the ribs, turn the abdomen. Come back to the centre. Hold on to your knees and then turn to the left. Gently come back to the centre. Come off your lift and sit back on your heels, big toes together, your knees apart, and then just let the legs adjust into the floor. Feel that the fronts of the shins stretch out as you allow the legs to move into the floor. Just feel how your legs respond to sitting in virasana this morning. Do they instantly yield to the shape of the floor, or do they resist it? Just observe how the pose feels. Elevate the heart area upwards, lifting the abdomen up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone. And then maintaining contact between the seat bones and the heels, come forwards and then stretch forwards. Keeping the seat bones down on the heels if you possibly can. Keeping length in the front chest. Keeping the breath mindful. In the same frame, breathing from the bottom to the top, exhaling from the top to the bottom. Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come up into dog down. Activate your legs straight and the legs tight and the kneecaps. Hit the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Lift the fronts of the thighs up to the top of the leg. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Keep the arms straight. Have the feet as wide apart as the mat. Have the hands as wide apart as the mat. And then step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position. Bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. Have your feet as wide apart as your mat. Have your hands on your hips, lift up into the chest, and then come forwards. If you've got a bad back, have some blocks for underneath your hands and bring your hands down onto the blocks. So bring your hands down onto the blocks when you're just halfway. Otherwise, keep going forwards, and then lengthen. It'll bring the thumbs into the crease of the elbows. Wrap the fingers around your elbows. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Bring your hands down. Project the chin and the chest forwards, come up into standing. And then come into Tadasana. Lift up into the chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Actually, Kat, can you? I feel a bit. Can you just do supta baddangulyasana at the moment? I feel a bit ill actually. Just give me a second, and I will be back.
Okay, cool.
Right. Okay. So stand in Tadasana. So just come back into Tadasana. Inner edge of the feet together. Lift up into the chest. Stretch from the fingers down from the shoulders down into the fingers, and then lift up into the chest. Just feel your balance. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest, and then step or jump your feet nice and wide, and then lift up into the chest. Press the feet into the floor, lift up into the hips, up into the heart area. Turn your left toes in slightly, the right leg and foot all the way out, and then come over to the right side, lifting up into the head. Drawing the abdomen up to the ceiling. Looking up. If you can. If it's uncomfortable in your neck, then look forwards. But looking up helps to clear out the sinuses. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, feeling the position of the feet in relation to the position of the legs and the hips. Reach up, come back to the centre, swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. And then reach over, find the shin, look up. Keep the legs firmly activated, kneecaps tightened, turn in the front of the thigh of that front leg, the left leg, from the big toe side to the little toe side. And then come back to the centre, bring the feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into Tadasana, elevating the heart area upwards. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Focusing on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Stretch your arms forwards, turn the palms all the way out, and then reach behind you. Bring the tips of the fingers together, and then turn the fingers up towards the neck. And then try and walk the hands up as close to the neck as you can get them. And then at this stage, your hands are probably like this. So go back into Tadasana if you've let the legs slip. First of all, I want you to really consciously lift the chest. Lift the chest. And then wing the elbows towards the wall behind you. Lengthen from your shoulders into your elbows. And then your elbows into the heels of your hands. And then hopefully your hands come a little closer together. So keep working in that combination of actions to bring the finger knuckles firmly together. So namaskarasana is a really good chest opener. It's really good energy opener. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Listening to the breath. Pushing the heels of the hands together by squeezing the elbows in towards the heels of the hands, like you do in just normal namaste. Keep lengthening from the heels of the hands into the fingertips. Okay, and then very gently release the hands. You might have to drop the chest a little to do it. And then stretch the palms, spread the fingers, spread the palms. Turn the palms all the way out. Just feel your breath. Filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. Emptying them from the top to the bottom. Rotating the upper arms in the sockets. Just listening to the breath. Aiming to fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. And then stretch your arms out in front again, turn the palms, bring the hands behind you, and then again just walk the hands, the fingers up towards the neck. So even if it often helps to just drop the chest a little, to bring those hands up a little higher. Maybe they feel like they're up a little higher than last time, maybe not, it doesn't really matter, just observe it. Lift up into the chest, lift the heart area upwards, wing your elbows back, lengthen from your shoulders consciously into your elbows, and lengthen the elbows into the heels of the hands. Observe what happens to your Tadasana. Maybe it makes you stick the tailbone out. Maybe you overbend in the lumbar. So draw the belly button to the spine. Activate the legs in Tadasana really firmly and tuck the tailbone in. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Gently release, drop the chest a little to release the hands, and then spread the fingers, spread the palms, turn the palms to the front and all the way out to the sides of the room, lift up into the chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Stretch your arms forwards, interlock your fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then raise your arms over your head. So just feeling that you're opening up the action of the shoulders, turning the armpits out to the sides of the room, squeezing the outer elbows in, pushing the palms to the ceiling. Keep the legs firmly in Tadasana, rotating the fronts of the legs inwards, tucking the tailbone in, drawing the abdomen to the spine, keeping the kneecaps tightened. Release your arms and just look at the interlock of your fingers. I want you to interlock the fingers again, but this time to interlock the fingers with the unnatural way, with the other index finger on the top of the stack. Turn the palms all the way out and then raise your arms over your head. Wing the elbows beyond your ears if you can. Observe your Tadasana. Have you become more kind of banana shaped, or can you maintain the action of the legs, the tailbone, the belly button, drawing yourself into a really good straight line while still really deeply extending. And then gently release your hands, come back into Tadasana. Just turn the palms all the way out and again lift up into the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest and then step or jump your feet really wide as you can, bringing the heels in line with the edges of the mat, and then turn your toes inwards. So heels in line with the edge of the mat, have your hands on your hips, lift up into the chest, really activate Tadasana legs, tighten the kneecaps, turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, and then hinge at the hips, come forwards, feeling the backs of the legs waking up as you extend forwards. Find the floor with your hands. If you can't reach the floor, then use blocks under your hands. Work to really straighten the legs, pushing the fronts of the legs through to the backs of the legs. Tilt the tailbone to the ceiling, lengthen from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. If you can go down further, then keep the back straight, but hinge at the hips. You think of the hips as a hinge. And bring the head down, but without rounding the back, without bending the knees, keeping the legs straight, keeping the back straight. Prasarita, padottanasana. Keep the legs hitting towards the wall behind you so that your weight stays away from your head. There should be very little weight in your head at this stage. If you feel that your weight is drawing towards your head, then hit the legs back. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then walk your hands forward, come back to the centre, and then bring the heels of the hands down onto the floor, bend your knees, and then gently step or jump your feet back together, and then come up into Tadasana, and then raise your arms, elevate the arms up to the ceiling. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then gently release. Come down onto your knees and just sit back on your heels again. Sit back on your heels. And again, just observe this time how virasana feels for the shins. Do the shins feel like they're a little more capable to yield into the shape of the pose? Or is there still that same resistance that you felt at the beginning? Or maybe you didn't feel any resistance at the beginning. Is that still the same now? Just observe the difference of the physical body. And then come forwards, hinge at the hips, lengthen forwards, hit the seat bones back into the heels. And then come forwards into Adho Mukha Virasana. Keep the seat bones down on the heels. Have a block underneath your head if you can't reach the floor, or if you lose contact between the seat bones and the heels when you bring your head down, then put a block under your head and see if you can maintain that connection between the seat bones and the heels. It's an important connection, the seat bones and the heels, in this pose, because it grounds the torso. Otherwise it just becomes a forward lunge. This action of drawing the seat bones down to the heels really pins this pose down as a forward extension. So knowing where you're stretching away from and to is part of the thing that makes Adho Mukha Virasana an effective extension. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and then sit yourself up. Observe how your energy has changed. Observe how perhaps you have woken up the energy of the physical body. How there's lightness where there was heaviness before. So just observe that feeling of energetic lightness. Just come up onto all fours. Have your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So we're going to go into the pigeon pose, rajakapotasana. So lengthen from the knees into the toes at this stage. Press the shins into the floor. So that's not going to stay like that, but it's a good way to really feel the body in 3 dimensions if you activate those shins. Bring the right knee to make contact with the right wrist, and then bring the right foot underneath the left thigh. And then stretch that left leg away. Come up onto the fingertips. Turn that back leg, the front of the thigh, turn it inwards like you're doing tadasana, so that the back of the thigh broadens outwards, so that the hips come level. When the hips are level, lengthen the abdomen up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone, up to the chin. Push the knees away from each other, but keep that back leg in Tadasana. Lifting up into the chest, feeling the abdomen stretch. And then come down onto your elbows. Come down onto your elbows and just have another little wriggle into the hips. Make sure that they feel level. again, tadasanarise that back leg. If not, create a couple of fists for your hands, one fist on top of the other, and then just let your head rest on the forehead, rest on the two fists. Have your elbows a little wider apart if you need to bring the head down a little lower. Just allow the body to rest into the floor, so it's more of a yin style pose. So just let the body yield to gravity. So let go of extension and allow the body to yield into the floor. So it's pretty intense, and we just let the body go. Just allow the muscles to stretch. Push the out breath into areas of resistance. And then lift the head. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders, just beyond the fingertips again. And then just refresh the extension. Keep that back leg in Tadasana, lifting from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. And then bring the palms flat onto the floor. Walk the left leg in, and then walk the right leg back. Just come back onto all fours. Just have a little wriggle in the hips. Observe how the hips feel different. Reactivate the shins, lengthen from the knees into the toes. Feel the body in 3 dimensions. And then bring the left knee, this time to make contact with the left wrist. Bring the left foot underneath the right thigh, and then stretch that right thigh away. Come up onto the fingertips. Turn the front of the thigh of that back leg. Lift up into the chest, elevating the abdomen, up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone, up to the chin. And then come down onto your elbows. Just rest one hand on top of the other. Just make fists with the hands, rest one on top of the other, but do it the other way round to how you had them last time. And then bring the forehead down onto the upper fist, and then allow the body to just yield into the pose. Just release into gravity. Don't worry too much about balance and levelness. Just let the body release into the floor. stretches. You feel it around the glutes and in the backs of the thighs, maybe in the hamstrings. Allow yourself to release into the pose more and more with the out breath. Of course, if there is deep discomfort, then soften, come out of the pose. And raise your head, and then come back up onto your fingertips, lifting up into the chest. Just a really good stretch, lengthening into that back leg, resetting the extensions. And then bring the palms back down, turn your toes in of that back leg, and then gently walk that back leg in, and then come back, sit back on your heels. Just observing how the heels feel, how you've opened up energy around the hips. Lift up into the chest, and then extend the arms forward, spread your fingers, spread your palms, and then bring the forehead down. And bring your hands underneath your shoulders, and then push yourself back up into virasana, just lifting up into the chest. So have a bolster for underneath your back, and we're going to go into supta baddangulyasana, using the bolster under to keep the chest elevated. So you bring the feet in towards the body. If you are feeling, because we're working quite slowly, aren't we? So I often quite just need something to cover my feet. Lift up into the chest as you come down, and then if your head feels like it rolls back, then get a folded blanket and bring that underneath your neck and your head. So your head shouldn't roll back. If your chin is higher than your forehead, then your brain will be overactive. So keep your chin at least level with your forehead, level with your chin, or higher than your chin. Never the other way around. So just feel in the pose using the bolster or the cushions if you don't have a bolster. Feel how the abdomen gets broadened. Feel how the chest becomes broad. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Observe how the body yields to the position of the bolster. So just allow it to keep the feet firmly together. If there's stiffness in your hips, of course, put some blocks underneath your thighs. But just allow the body to broaden along the front chest, along the front of the abdomen. Allowing the front of the body to continue to broaden. Okay, in a moment we're going to bring ourselves out of the pose. So before you come out of the pose, just observe your breath. Observe how the breath maybe feels freer, more conscious. And then push your elbows into the floor. Push your elbows into the floor. Try not to poke your head forwards. Lift up with the chest. And then come up. Just hold on to the big toes. Come into baddangulyasana. If you feel like you kind of roll onto the back edge of the seat bones in baddangulyasana and you can't roll yourself onto the front edge of the seat bones, then sit on the end of the bolster. Because we're going to turn and you need to be on the front edge of your seat bones to turn. So sit on a folded blanket or on the bolster if you're rolling onto the back edge of the seat bones. And then turn the torso to the right side, digging the back hand into the floor or into the bolster so that you stay on the front edge of the seat bone, drawing the abdomen across, and the ribs and the shoulders. And then come back to the centre, hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. And then turn to the left. Digging the back hand really firmly into the floor so that you stay on the front edge of the seat bones. And then gently come back to the centre. Just stretch your legs out. Just take your bolster, have the folded blanket for your head, and then have the bolster underneath your knees or some cushions underneath your knees if you haven't got a bolster. And then cover yourself up if you feel like you might be a bit chilly. And then come down onto the floor into shavasana. So have the folded blanket underneath your head. If the light's a bit bright, then cover your eyes. As much as you can. And then release down into the floor. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top, and empty them down to from the top to the bottom. Breathe consciously and evenly into both lungs. Allowing both lungs to expand evenly and to deflate evenly. Releasing the physical body deeply into the floor, observing that feeling of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones into the muscles, into the organs, into the flesh and skin. To disturb yourself, just gently wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. And then bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, have your feet apart and your knees together. Just resting your back into the floor. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage on the spine. And then roll over onto your right side, stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position. Just to cross legs with your hands in namaste, your final spinal lift. Just observe your energy, draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy. And the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the reclining poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And send some of that positive energy out into the world, to people, to places, to things that need our positive energy. Release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you have really lifted your energy and given yourself good, positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.